Hi everyone, this is Cherry Enchantress with Pixie Dust Tarot, and this is your daily dust for Thursday, February 2nd, if you're watching in real time. If you're one of those wonderful, awesome people out there that follow me consecutively day after day, thank you very, very much. I am going to keep using the Final Rose Tarot until we get to Valentine's Day. So that's our little fun saga between us. But if you are also, or if you're just a person that stumbles upon this reading, hi, my name is Cherry. I do this daily dust, and it's a 3-card general collective reading, and it's pixie dust because, or it's daily dust because my motto is faith, trust, and pixie dust, taken after Peter Pan, and it's just my way of using those words to represent manifestation and the law of attraction, the ability to fly, and the ability to attract your wonderful life towards you through visualization and good positive vibes and energy here. So the pixie dust is the magic. So welcome to the magic. You have arrived. Okay. So for both, for wherever you are in the world and for whatever reason you're here, I appreciate you. And oh, look, the 7 of Rings is on the bottom again for the right reasons. Or was it on the bottom the last time? I think it was. Okay, so I'm going to shuffle the deck and we're going to get a 3-card reading. This can be for, a particular day, but it can have like longer lasting energies. Much like transits, I see these tarot readings a lot like astrological transits. Like sometimes it can be for a particular day, and sometimes it can feel like something that goes beyond today. Okay. And I have been taken from the top, and I notice I get a lot of the same cards. So that's because even though I shuffle really good, the same card may stay on top all the time. So I'm going to start pulling from the middle. Let's see, we've got, oh, this one comes out sometimes. The 2 of Mirrors. I think of my daughter. My daughter gave me this deck. And I think of her because she's in roller derby, and there's a lot of physical contact. More than just physical contact, there's a lot of knocking over people. We've got the Knight of Rings. Late bloomer. Okay. And ooh, the villain. All right. Oh my gosh, what's going on here? So I was hoping that these cards would kind of make a soap opera or a saga or a daily kind of journey of some story that you might find yourself in, or maybe not. Maybe it's just entertainment. But the Final Rose Tarot, it takes after the Bachelor series, and so that's why I enjoy this deck very much. I'm going to zoom on in and let's see what kind of message we get. So the 2 of Mirrors Mirrors is the suit of swords, and 2 of Swords generally represents like just being in your head, going back and forth, thinking, overthinking. In this case, this is called the 2-on-1, which is interesting. So yesterday we had one person, maybe your dad or an authority figure of some sort, or it was one person that could represent a group of people or just society rules and stuff. And now it feels like there could be more than one person trying to gang up on you or trying to push their idea on you, maybe. So in the book it says, how do we proceed making tough choices when we're faced with an impasse? As we become aware that we haven't quite understood the full scope of the roads before us, we must weigh the pros and the cons and bring our heart and mind into balance. With one rose on the table, what you need to see becomes clear with the right resolution when you're in alignment with yourself. Don't forget that if neither option feels right, not offering up a rose is also a decision that's available. So there's there's decisions. There's decision to go this way or that way. There's decision to not do anything at all, which is also a choice. There's a decision to, and then that not choice can be a good one, like not giving anybody a rose or giving anybody the time and attention that they don't deserve, or the not giving a, or the not making a choice can be a negative where you're kind of stuck in limbo, and you're not moving anywhere, and it can get kind of stagnant and it can feel kind of yucky. So sometimes it is important to make a choice one way or the other, you know, go down some kind of path so you're not stuck in a stagnant situation. Um, yeah, I feel like I see flow. I see I see like poop. I know that sounds terrible, but you know, like you got to flush the toilet if the toilet is just sitting there. I mean, and you know what? These are mundane readings, okay? So it can be as mundane as getting in an argument with somebody who told you to flush the toilet and you didn't flush the toilet. Or it can be something deeper, like having big life choices to make and going one way or the other. And if you don't make a choice at all, it's just like the sitting poop. You know, it's just like, it's gonna stink after a while because it's just sitting there. The water flushes it down and it sends it somewhere. And and that gets that movement, the flow, like going with the flow, actually is a productive thing to do. So you might need more information though before you make any particular choice, but I feel like in some cases it's important to make a choice than no choice at all, and then go with it and see where it leads. Either way, I feel like you're going to come out with a good understanding of what you truly want and need in your life. But by standing there and looking at your choices and not taking any path at all, then you may never know. You know, it's like sometimes the risk is not, you know, not taking the risk is worse than taking the risk and, you know, messing up a little bit. Sometimes you don't even mess up as much as you think you will. You know, sometimes and maybe sometimes you don't even mess up at all. Sometimes you take a road and you're like, whoa, why didn't I know? If I knew that this path would have led me to this, I would have done this a long time ago. So here you have the Knight of Rings, the late bloomer. This is beautiful. This could be you or a person of interest, but I feel like after some time period, this person has figured it out. So it could be somebody that you're interested in that had major choices to make, but they were just sitting in their choice and not making any decisions. And then finally, after like having some kind of knowledge come to them, they bloom, they decide and they make a choice. Well, or you decide and you make a choice. This is also about hard work and coming into your own and advancement. So by making that choice, you are leveling up. You're doing greater. And okay, so by the book it says, no two journeys in love or life are alike. While you may feel stuck or behind, you're exactly right on time. Even though your perceived delays feel like you've lost time and experiences that others had long before you, your process of developing has brought you greater consciousness and appreciation for what you're experiencing now. This kind of makes me think of, my mom told me once, she's like, I think you're going to get married when you're older, like much older. Like I've been married already, married and divorced, and I will never regret it. It was a great period of time to raise children, and I have beautiful kids because of that. But now, you know, what's coming next for me, I would want it to be something real and true and deep, and it doesn't have to be traditional marriage or anything like that. But I was just talking to my mom. It's just kind of like this. She kind of made me feel like possibly the late bloomer kind of thing, you know, like I had one go at it that didn't work out 100%, but I don't regret it, you know, like I have beautiful children because I took that risk and that chance, even though I went through some, you know, ups and downs. But I feel like the bloom, the beautiful energy that's happening here is after like really knowing yourself, focusing on yourself, becoming the best person you can be. It takes a little while for some people. Not everybody follows this societal timeline of, you got to be in your 30s and you got to do this by this time, you got to do this by that time. It's not everybody can follow that, or not everybody wants to. And some people have a really long spiritual journey before they settle down, if that's what you're going to do or whatever. But I feel like you also, like there's in business too, have you noticed, like sometimes, rarely, but sometimes people can have like a crazy spark in their career or even fame at a late date in their life. Like one of the people that jump in my head first is that old lady that was in those Wendy commercials. Okay, so maybe we don't talk about it much anymore these days, but when she was popular, she lived her whole life just as a regular person, and then she became famous for saying something like, "Who's got the beef?" or "We've got the," something like that, something having to do with the meat and and Wendy's and whatever. But that fame, if that's what you want, or that blossom, the bloom of who you are, sometimes doesn't happen in your early years. Sometimes it happens later. So just realize that. But you don't I mean, late bloomer can mean anything. It can mean 21 or it can mean 52. But, you take it the way you want to take it. Like, what is late to you? What's late? So, like, if you didn't date in high school, but you have it now in college, you have a really great opportunities, that can be considered a late bloomer. And career is same thing. If not a whole lot happens early on, you did a lot of school and a lot of study, and now you have all this accumulated knowledge, and you're like, oh, I found now something that I can apply all this to. Finally, it took me a while, but here I am. So yeah, you're just becoming the person who you're meant to be, and you're in a position of advancement and acceleration. And all right, and you had to do this because you're going to be met with the villain. I don't think we can face the villain unless we have an arsenal, unless we have our own strength, our inner strength, that confidence. Confidence. So now you have the confidence to face the villain, whoever she is or it is. This could also be somebody that's distracting you. So if you've decided you made a choice, you could go with this choice that is not exactly the right choice, but you know what? You went with a choice, you discovered who this person is, now you know more about yourself. That's good. You can move on. This is kind of a hypnotic, maybe a dramatic and a short-term pleasure-seeking energy. The villain by the book is saying, "Not here to make friends," is the motto of the villain. This essential hypnotic presence draws us in and shines light on the negative influences within us all, captivating us with drama and fulfilling our lowest desires for a short time. The villain is the real star of the show, but inevitably bags will be packed and they will be escorted away, bringing much needed relief and revival to those who remain. All right, so I feel kind of like the late bloomer is the hero and the villain is the villain. And there could have been some kind of struggle, but I feel like the late bloomer finally has come into their own. Like, the villain can be a person or could be just an energy, like me against the world, and now I made it, and the world didn't get the best of me, and I conquered my fears. It could be the dark side of you, it could be the shadow side, it could be lots of things like that. But I feel like the main message here is that you are now have come into your own. It's never too late. It's never too late to start something. It's never too late to learn a lesson. It's never too late to try something new, to reinvent yourself. It makes me feel very much like Scorpio 8th house Pluto energy, that whole phoenix rising from the ashes, reinventing yourself. And it's never too late for that. There's It's never too late to change your mind and make a different choice. If you've been on a particular path and it's just not working for you, you can put on the brakes and say, okay, I'm going to switch tracks. It's like you can be the train that decides, all right, I'm not going to do this track anymore. I'm going to switch to this other track and see where that leads you. My aunt, who's a nun, she had many jobs in her life, and she told me, and it was very, like, early on, it was very helpful. She's like, you don't have to be just one thing. You can try lots of things in your life. Who says you have to just pick one job and just go with it for the rest of your life? You don't have to. You can be creative and try lots of different things that you like to do. And it's not a failure to change your job. It's just being creative or open-minded or trying things. And life is not about like proving yourself to other people and showing off, if that's what some of you might feel like that, but life is about you and your connection and your journey and the things that you do to lift yourself up, the things that you do to learn about yourself and learn about life and to find parts of yourself that bring joy and excitement. Whatever it is that you're doing over here, even if you're actually physically boxing or roller derbying or whatever, that if that gives you joy, then keep doing that. That's a beautiful thing. But if it's time to switch tracks, then switch tracks. You have the beautiful right to choose and to change your mind as well. So I hope you like that. Faith, Trust, and Pixie Dust.